Welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Rhonda Lawnert.
And I'm still the magnificent Chuckalicious Chuck Williams.
Another great entity in our community is the Opportunity School. It really kind of levels the field no matter what your background is, your economic level, your race, your creed, your color. The chance to learn is available. And Opportunity School really sets a great base foundation, not only for the kids, but it also helps the parents in their educational journey. Joining us today is Mrs. Lesley Webb. She's the Program Quality Specialist for Opportunity School here in Amarillo. Good morning, Miss Lesley. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Well, Lesley, as long as I've known you, which has been a bit,
Yes.
you've always been about children and their welfare. And I can't think of somebody else more qualified to answer this question, but why is quality infant care so important?
Quality infant care is important because we're building brains. You know, any education is about building brains, but the brain in an infant or a toddler is wiring the very fastest from really birth to 3. And so what we do with our infants and our young toddlers is foundational for setting everything up for them to be able to learn and to be able to connect and to be able to have relationships as they get older.
You know, just what are kids learning in the first 3 years of life? I mean, it seems like, oh, well, they're just tagging along, but they're into a learning process from literally from birth.
They are in absolutely a learning process from birth. And a lot of what they're learning isn't as important as that we're setting the foundation for all future learning. So they're learning how to move their bodies, they're learning how to talk, they're learning how to express their needs and wants, some of them really well. And all of these skills set a foundation for later learning. They're even learning math and science skills. When an infant takes a spoon and drops it off of their chair, their high chair, they're learning about gravity, and they're learning about whether someone will pick it up for them and they get to do it again. So they're learning about cause and effect. So all of those skills are setting the foundation for more abstract learning as they get older.
A couple of years ago, there was a survey done, and they said it probably costs more. Numbers showed it cost about equal or even more but have your child at childcare than to send them to their freshman year at Harvard. It's an expensive proposition. It's a big deal. I mean, because of the both parents usually work in a household nowadays. It's changed how we care for kids. What are some of the things that a parent should look for? They want to make a good investment. They want to invest good, but they also want to have the quality for their child. What should parents be looking for when looking at a child care provider?
I think one of the most important things, and this was something that I looked for when my children were young, is just that they are seeing the exact same faces of teachers every single day. The most important thing that they are building during this time is attachment. So they need to walk in just to see, their same teacher, their same person there every single day. And so that is really important. And that is a challenge sometimes in childcare, is that continuity of care. But that is one of the things that we work very hard to do, is to be able to make sure that children are walking into the same caregiver. Also, that teacher knows, hey, this is where they are developmentally. So they're setting up the environment. They're setting up their classroom, their interactions based on where that child is in all of those different areas of development. So really knowing that child is the key for learning.
So talking about development, why is early intervention important for infants? And what we're wondering about is, noticing developmental delays.
Yes. And so at Opportunity School, we actually have an early intervention specialist on staff. And that's really part of her role, is to work with our children to get those referrals in place and to really make sure that children are getting early services, because we were talking about that the brain is wiring and is so malleable at this time. the sooner we can get in and intervene, the more likely it is that they're going to move further and go into school easier and all of those things, because the brain is wiring at that time instead of having to go in and do intervention later on and rewire the brain.
Just how important is it to read to an infant? I mean, you got somebody there who is giggling and cuckoo and everything else. How important is reading to a child?
Reading is so important to a child, that children learn language and learn a lot of their skills when we are talking to them and when they're hearing language. And so books help make language interactive. They help make learning fun. It gives them a chance to, one of their first opportunities to really show people what they're interested in when they're looking at a book and they point to a picture of someone that looks like their mommy or somebody that looks like their pet at home.
Right.
It's that showing an interest in learning. It's also important for social emotional foundations. When children learn to sit in their teacher's lap or to sit in their parent's lap and read a book and they feel safe, they learn to love to learn, and they feel safe, and it feels like a good experience for them.
Don't want you to forget, coming up, a way you can help out Opportunity School. Save this date. It's LIPS 2023. Takes place September 23rd. It's always a great time, and it's a great way to help out Opportunity School. But Miss Lesley, before we go, I just want to ask you, is it too late to jump into the process? How soon should parents start looking at daycare, childcare, and how easy is it in the process of getting into an Opportunity School, to getting that child into a program like that?
We really recommend that people start looking and start getting information about Opportunity School as soon as or maybe not as soon as, but as soon as they are pregnant. I mean, really, it's for infant care throughout Amarillo, not just at Opportunity School. It's at a premium right now. And so to find an infant toddler program and to find a quality program is a challenge. That was one of the reasons that we really doubled our infant toddler program, because the need is there. So I think just start talking to people, start looking around. If you know that you're going to need care for an infant, start doing it just as soon as possible.
Call Opportunity School or drop by, visit their campus. The Central Campus phone number is 806-373-4245. Edwards Campus is at 806-381-0551, or you can go to opportunityschool.com. Empowering growth and providing opportunities. Many a child has benefited from the great services of Opportunity School, and remarkably, many parents have too. It's a growth. And education is something we should be doing our whole life. You should never stop learning. But a great foundation is what empowers that, and you can get that at Opportunity School. Don't forget LIPS for Opportunity School coming up. It's always a big deal seeing everybody put on a show like that, and helps out Opportunity School. But give them a call, get started on the right path. Miss Lesley, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Anytime. A great entity in our community, Opportunity School. Once again, call their Central Campus at 806-373-4245, or the Edwards Campus at 806-381-0551, or go to opportunityschool.com. We'll take a quick break. We're back with more chat right after this.